Hello guys, a warm welcome to one and all, and this is part 10 of web technologies learning. Alright, so within the web technologies we are been learning about different kind of web technologies, that is HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And the part of HTML we are being learned different kind of elements in earlier sessions, and just today what we are going to do is we will just go forward to that HTML part. So before I am getting start with the today's session, and let's first find out what we have learned in the last session first. And when it comes to the last session, we are being learned about different kind of table designing, and we have been learned about some kind of frames. Alright, so if I talk about a first frame, what is the frame does? Because as I told you, it is pretty much important part of HTML again. Okay, so what is this frame will do? Frame is one of the concept or one of the element in HTML which can divide the browser window into multiple parts. Nothing but whenever you want to embed multiple HTML documents into a single HTML document, your frame set is one of the very important concept which you have to remember. Okay, so because what is the basic intention to have a frame set? Without frame set, what is going to happen? It is pretty simple. If you are trying to build a multiple HTML document and you cannot able to directly embed them into a single document, correct? So for example, I have created 3 HTML documents separately. If I want to execute the 3 HTML document, for sure I need to write 3 different kind of things. I mean to say 3 different kind of what I can call it as 3 different kind of HTML document, and along with that I have to execute these 3 HTML documents separately, right? So that what will happen is you can make your application pretty much lengthy. You will make your application itself pretty much lengthy. So what HTML developers has done is they have started using this HTML document as they are trying to embed them into a single document. What is mean to making a single embed document is, it is pretty simple. We are trying to use a frame which can directly which directly divide your HTML browser, or you can divide the HTML document into multiple parts. When you execute them directly on the browser, you can able to execute, or you can able to split it into multiple parts. That is what pretty much important concept. So frame set is pretty much important concept. If you want to use the frames in HTML doc, you have to use a tag name called frame set. Within the frame set, you can use multiple frames, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, whatever the frames you want, you can use multiple frames over there. That is what very much important concept. And after that, and pretty much important concept is table format. Okay, as we are learning about tables which give you a different kind of alignment process in HTML, right? So if you are trying to use a head table, what is the table is all about? Table is something which contain multiple rows and columns, right? So how do you define the multiple rows and columns, right? So when you want to define a multiple rows and columns, you can use a tag name called tr, which is inside the table, so that what will happen is a table can be divided into multiple rows now, right? tr1, tr like that you can divide into multiple rows, and along with that, if you want to divide a single row into multiple columns, nothing but if you want to divide a single column or multiple columns, so that you can use td as the part of data, I mean to say cells, multiple cells. Okay, so what you have to learn about the tables here, right? Table is one of the alignment process which is used to divide a HTML document into multiple rows, and every row of HTML document can be divided into multiple columns or multiple cells with the help of TD. Okay, now there is one more thing you need to learn about this. Okay, so if you want to give any header to the HTML document, then you have to use th as a header of HTML. Alright, now very clear guys. So this is one thing you have to need to learn about this HTML part for sure. Okay, is it clear now? So that is what very important part you have to be talking about the tables. After this tables, right? But I just want to see my HTML. As you look at the different pages which we have created earlier classes, right? Everything is not have that much kind of richness. nothing but it does not have any colors, it does not have any kind of animations, or it does not have any kind of videos and all, correct? So if you want to do that, what I have to learn? Okay, so today's topic is that. Okay, today's topic is, if you want to learn or if you want to enhance the features of HTML, you have to use something called CSS, right? So other part of HTML, I mean to say other part of web technology, that is something called CSS, stands for cascading style sheet, right? I am repeating once again, what is this? CSS stands for cascading style sheets. What it will do is, it is going to do, or it is trying to do, which it is trying to give a different kind of colors, different kind of animations, different kind of text, different kind of images, or different kind of sliders and everything. It's going to possible with CSS. Whatever you can see it in browser now, whatever the websites which you are seeing right now, it is mostly about the different kind of colors and all, right? So that is what we are trying to learn, and that is what also today's our concept. Please once you look at here, so that you will understand what is I am trying to show you today. All right. So first is cascading. Right. So here as cascading style sheet, what it will do is, it's give you colors, or you can also give some font size and all different things, font colors, font size, whatever the properties you have, you can use everything in this, but I'll explain you one by one in detail about this. Right. So everything is okay, but how do I apply to the, how do I apply this styles to HTML doc, right? So for example, before I am talking about this, this is one question everyone will have, because if you know HTML, this is what a simple HTML doc which we have. Okay, just I am going to show you sample documents which we have created earlier classes. All right. So let's see, this is what we have created in the last session, right? So if you look at here, all right, so give me 1 second. So it's going to render my page on the browser now. All right. All right. So now it's going to render the file which we have created earlier. Right. Okay. So this is frames, and before that I have created some table formats. So let's go. Let's look at here. Right. So it's again one of the table. All right. So I can go for one more thing. I'll say open again on another page. All right. See that in all these pages. Okay, I'm going to open you one more page. Right. Right. So whatever the pages I can open here, please observe carefully what I'm trying to show you in these pages. Right. All right. So you just need to concentrate for a few minutes. So what I'm trying to show you, I'll just list out here, right? Okay. See that in all these pages, see that page 1, page 2, page 3, like this. I have a couple of pages which we have created in earlier session. See that here I don't see anything different thing. I don't see anything in a graphical, I mean to say colors, animations, or whatever you can say. It is not in that format, right? It's just like a simple text that is always black boring color. Is it correct? It's everything is black boring color. Is that end user will I mean attract for this, right? If you want to attract the end user, that is also different, right? So whatever you just look at here, it's everything is in that format, right? Right. So today's session is, I want to make this kind of things will be little more attractive. So what I'll do is, I need to learn first of all what is CSS, and after this how do I apply it to a HTML elements. First here what I mean to say is, it's not doc, it's a different kind of HTML elements, nothing but it may be a paragraph, or it may be a H1 element, or it may be some image, or it may be some H1, or it may be H2, whatever you name it. Okay, so this is all your H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6. Okay, you may look at here, all this will also come in black color only. You may write paragraph, it's also come in black color only, right? If I write image, it's not have a different kind of richness, nothing but it just show you image in the format of height and width, that's it, right? So like this we have a different elements here in HTML. I want to make this HTML elements look something different or look something graphical, alright. So for that I have to learn something called CSS, stands for cascading style sheet, right? This cascading style sheets you can apply this in three ways. First one is inline CSS. Please do remember this, it's pretty much important. Internal CSS, and third one is, alright. So guys, you need to make a little more attention today's session, because if you understand the today's session, it becomes pretty much easy for coming sessions, alright. So if I say inline CSS, what is going to happen with the inline CSS, right? And what is going to happen with internal CSS, and what is going to happen with external CSS? Okay, sometime this is also called as single line element or single line CSS, nothing but or single element of HTML. Alright, so you just look at here, it just have only one element need to apply. Internal in the sense multiple elements. Okay, I'll show you with examples and all these things. Okay, so first I'll do one thing, I'll take a simple example as inline CSS now. Alright, what is that I'm trying to take? I'm trying to take an example of inline CSS. To this I'm trying to use one of the HTML again. Let's see, it is something called a graphical editor. Previous sessions I was used some kind of what I can call it as notepad, right? As I told you, there are the two kind of editors which you can use it for using of developing apps using HTML, and here I'm trying to use from today onwards, I'm going to use one more editor called Notepad++. As I show you last sessions and before the sessions, with the help of simple Notepad, I'm going to use from now onwards, I'm going to use something called Notepad++. Alright, so here it will let's look at here, it will have something graphical here. Now like previously we used to write simple plain, and now you can write it with some kind of different what I can call it as a different kind of text and all. Alright, so now let's see this. I'm trying to write the title for this. I'm going to show you within this example as what I can say. Alright, I'm going to show you something called inline CSS for this. Okay, right. For this inline CSS, I'm going to take a couple of HTML elements here. Alright, so here within this, I'm going to take a couple of H1 tags, so that I'll do one thing. I'll take a couple of H1 tags. Let's see, probably I'll take 4 H1 tags, and followed by I'm going to take a few paragraph tags. Okay, so 4 different H1 tags I'm going to take, 4 different types of paragraph tags I'm taking here. Let's look at here how this is going to done. Alright, so now what I do is, let's say this is the name I'm giving as welcome to CSS. Alright, so now I'll write this one as welcome to APSSDC. Alright, so this is welcome to HTML. Alright, this one is alright, welcome to web technologies. Okay, so I'm going to write the same thing here, welcome to CSS. Alright, so now let's say Okay. So, I have created simple HTML doc with the help of a few elements in HTML. All right. So, first I am going to show you the output for this. I am going to save this doc in the same folder. Okay. CSS example extension is .html. Save this document on some place of your browser, right. So, as soon as you can save this file, you can go to a file menu. There is something called a run option on the browser. Okay, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple software. You can download. You can just go to Google, say that Notepad++. It's going to download that particular software. It's pretty simple installation. Once you install the software, you can able to use the software directly, right. And this is open source software. There is no I mean, there is no registration is required. There is no I mean, application in aspects of money and all. It's not required anything. It is pretty simple software. You can directly go to Google and type Notepad++ download option. You directly download this software. Once you download this software, you can have a simple installation process, nothing but next option. Once you gone through with that installation process, then you can able to find the interface, which is I just shown you just now. That we just go for this. In that you can have you just go to a file menu here. It gonna show you a couple of browsers on your browser. Let's see the screen once again. You can understand. All right. So, if you go to the run option, where is you have installed a couple of browsers, right. So, I have installed a Chrome, Internet Explorer or Firefox and Safari and different browsers here. So, whatever the browsers you feel flexible, you can use that browser. Just say that execute it. All right. See that as I can see all these things in black boring color. There is no colors for this any kind of HTML elements here. Is it clear? So, there is no colors and all for this. So, how do I apply the colors for this? First, if I want to apply, I need to learn about first inline CSS, right. How do I apply the inline CSS to this? Okay, go to that HTML doc, write the property name called style, and just want to show you just example now. There are a couple of properties we have. That properties I will tell you. All right. So, now I am going to give you the property, call it as color as red, right. So, nothing but this HTML element need to apply with a color name called red. Now, so I am going to refresh my browser now. Let us going to see what is going to happen. All right. See that you have seen one of the element in HTML, or you have seen one of the element in the document has become as some other color, right. So, for example, I want to apply to another HTML element here. What I need to do is I need to write again style tag or style attribute. I need to give a color, which color you are feeling better. So, give the color name and close it. All right. So, again refresh your browser, you can see that another HTML of another HTML element again becomes in green color. All right. So, now let us see, I am going to apply to this one also. So, I will just give a color name as blue, right. Save this document and refresh the browser. See that it is becomes in blue color, and let us see. I just want to apply this one in, let us say style tag is equals to color of what color, what kind of color you want to apply. All right. So, let us say red, green, hello. All right. So, save this doc and refresh it, right. So, you can able to see that is in yellow color, right. So, I want to apply to the paragraph also. Let us see what kind of paragraph styles. Okay, style is equals to, I want to apply for this one is also in red. All right. All right. So, here I just want to apply the color as green. All right. So, again I need to write a style tag to this. Okay. So, you look at the HTML browser, refresh your browser, so that you can able to see a different elements is in different colors, right? Correct. So that if I want to apply, see that all of these are different H1 elements, right? All of these are different H1 element. All these 4 elements will have a different colors to it. For example, you have a document in your browser, you have a one HTML doc, in that you want to apply the colors to two different kind of elements. So in that time you can use this particular syntax to apply the colors to that particular HTML document, right? HTML element I can say, sorry, right. So if I want to apply to this, I need to write style tag. If I want to apply to this, I need to write the style tag. If I want to apply to this, style tag. Every time I need to write like this. Okay. If you are trying to write in that format, this becomes as internal CSS. Nothing but what it will happen is, this is going to apply styles to a single element of HTML doc, right. So you may have a same element, see that you have a same elements here also, right. You may have a same elements also, but still it is going to apply with the same kind of color or same kind of styles to it. Is it clear, guys? So whenever you have a requirement, within that multiple H1 elements are presented, but if you want to apply to all this multiple HTML elements with the different colors, then you have to go for inline CSS. Am I very clear, guys? So you just look after for this example so that you will understand it very carefully. So this becomes pretty simple job for you. All right, clear? So let's see what you have to learn about inline CSS is. Okay, inline CSS is a concept, or inline CSS is a methodology which can apply these styles to single elements of HTML within the HTML doc. Nothing but you may have a same elements is presented in the same doc. I mean to say, I have a 4 H1 elements, I have a 4 paragraph elements, right, but still whatever the style I have applied, which has been applying into a single element, right. Is it correct? It is applying to a single element, right. So that kind of process or that kind of thing we basically call as inline CSS. It is pretty much important whenever you want to apply the different colors or different styles to different HTML element, then becomes it is pretty simple job for you. Is it clear, guys? That is one thing we have to look after. Clear now? Let's see what is going to happen. For example, let's see the screen once again. You need to you have to look after this, right. So if you look at the screen, there are 4 H1 elements in that same document, right. Someone is asked you, okay, please let's see the screen once. Okay, here in this HTML document you have a 4 different kind of you have a 4 H1 elements, right. In this 4 H1 elements you want to have a same color and all, right. You want the same color, you want the same text, and everything is same, right. So what will happen is, every time I need to go to that particular element of HTML and I need to apply the style to it. Is it correct? For example, a requirement is something like this, nothing but a requirement of a requirement is, there are 4 H1 elements in the doc which has to apply a different kind of this 4 H1 elements has to be in same, has to have a same kind of color, same kind of everything, right. In that case, what I supposed to do is, I have to go to each and individual element of HTML, then I have to write the inline CSS to it, right. Instead of that, instead of writing a single element, we can also apply the group elements as a same style. That you can learn about internal CSS. The first internal CSS is element level, right. Second one is ID level. Nothing but you can use ID. I'll let you know, don't worry in this. Whatever this 3, just you need to remember one thing, that is ID, class and element. There are the 3 different things. Okay, you can apply it with the help of element. You can also apply with class. You can also apply it with what I can say ID also. So how do you do it? How do you do it? It is pretty simple job. I'm going to create one more HTML document to demonstrate you about. First, I'll show you element level. Nothing but what is the requirement is, there are 4 H1 elements. How many elements here? 4 H1 elements which need to have same styles. Okay. So, if you want to have a same style for the 4 H1 element, I am going to use element level now. How do I use this element level is, I am going to demonstrate with a simple example, right. So, I will just use HTML and then I am going to use a head part, or I am going to use the body, alright. So, let us see, within this I am going to write the title tag for this, alright. The title tag is CSS example 2, right. I am going to save this document here. So, the document name I will write it as for example C11 dot extension is .html, alright. Save this doc into your local machine, alright. The moment when you save it, I am going to open the body part. So, how many H1 elements you required? 4 H1 elements, right. So, within the 4 H1 element you want the same style, alright. So, I am going to write the 4 H1 elements, alright. So, I am going to write some text between this. Welcome to APSSDC, alright. So, again I will write welcome to HTML, welcome to CSS, and then I will write it as welcome to alright. So, I am going to write application building, alright. So, there are a few things I am going to use. I am going to save this document and go to the run option on your menu option, go to a run option and launch it on the browser which you favor, okay. See that I have a 4 H1 elements which have a same black boring color. I just need to change this color to some X color which has to have a formal color for all these things. Nothing but I want to apply the same color, same text, everything to all these 4 elements, alright. So, how do I do it? So, in that case I have to learn about element level applying, nothing but I need to apply the element level, okay. So, how do I apply this? It is pretty simple. You need to use a style tag, you need to use a style tag. Where is this style tag has to be used? Head part of your browser, right. Am I very clear, guys? Where I need to use a style tag? I need to use a style tag or style tag in body. It is not in body part, it is in a head part of your browser, nothing but in this part, before and closing of head, I need to use a tag name called style, okay. So, I am applying with what? Hope you understand. I am trying to apply the internal CSS, not inline, it is internal, nothing but single document level, right. So, you can also call it as this is document level CSS also, and this one you can call it as element level, nothing but it is going to apply to single element, but it is going to apply group of elements. So, which element you are applying is, you are applying for H1, open curly brace, close curly brace, right. Within this open and close curly brace, you can write anything here, right. So, what I just want to do is, I want to apply the color, right. Color is one of the property, I'll show you. I'll when it is comes to the in detail part of CSS, I'll discuss about what is this color is, what is the text is all about, I'll discuss. But by the time I just want to know I just want you to understand how do you apply, what kind of varieties of CSS you can apply to the HTML doc, right. So, I have a color here, what kind of color I want to apply, let us say red, right. Now, save this document, going to refresh my browser now, let us see what is going to happen now, right. All these 4 H1 elements as in red color, because I am giving a color of that text is red. Let us say I am trying to change this color as let us say probably green. Save this HTML document, go to file, right, you can just save the document, already saved, right. Go to again refresh the browser, it becomes in green color now, is it correct? See that I am trying to change again one more color to this, let us say blue, alright. So, again I will do one thing, I will going to refresh my browser, it is becomes in green blue color, alright. So, I want to apply this in pink, let us say pink, alright, save this doc and refresh it, it is becomes in pink color. So, again I will do some changes here, let us say again let us say purple, alright. So, going to refresh your browser, this is your purple color, correct. So, this is all comes under element, nothing but you are trying to apply to all elements in the document. If I say H1, all H1 have a same thing. For example, I am going to give you one horizontal line here. For example, look at here what is going to happen. I am trying to write a paragraph tag now. I am trying to write 4 paragraph tags. Okay. So, now I am going to give you 4 paragraph tags. Let us see, is that paragraph tags are affected? Right. No, because you are applied a element level CSS, that too you have applied only for H1 element, nothing but in the document whatever the H1s are presented, all these 4 H1 elements will be get affected. For example, I want to apply the paragraph also, right. Let us say you need to write paragraph, you can give some color, let us see I am giving a color as something say red, okay. Save this document and refresh it. What is going to happen now? Only 4 paragraphs is applied with the red and these 4 H1 is applied with some other color, correct. So, this is how we can apply the internal CSS. Please you need to remember one thing, it is internal CSS in which it is comes under element level, correct. So, but someone is asked you that I want H1 as well as paragraph should need to have a same CSS, right. In this case you can apply it individually, but this instead of applying individual I want to apply it as a single one, alright. So, how do I do this? It is pretty much important guys, you need to remember this because it is pretty much important in every interviews they are going to ask you this question, right. So, I am going to apply it with H1 followed by paragraph, right. I need to give a colored as let us say purple, or otherwise I will do one thing, I will give apply it as a green, nothing but comma separated element 1 followed by comma separated and element number 2. If you want to have these 2 will apply the same CSS here. Let us see that all are in green color. For example, let us see probably I am trying to write some H2 tag here, alright. I am trying to apply a couple of H2 tags, let us say H21, this is H22, alright. Let us see whether this 2 is applied with the color, no, see that because it is again in black color only we have applied the CSS to H1 as well as we have applied the CSS to paragraph. if I want to apply it to this, I need to give comma separated value with another element name, that is something called h2. Refresh your browser, this is also applied with the same CSS. Is it clear, guys? This is something comes under element level CSS, nothing but what will happen with the element level CSS, all the elements which have a same type will be applied same style. Okay, but if you want to apply same CSS to multiple elements of HTML doc, you need to use comma separated value. You need to use comma between, it is comma operator, you need to use comma operator between so that what will happen is all the elements will apply the same CSS, okay, as like this, right. Am I very clear, guys? Any doubts on this? Please look at this example, please try to note down this example because it's pretty much important, right. So here most of the time they used to ask you this syntax here, right. I want to apply the same CSS to the multiple HTML elements using of internal CSS. What is the syntax for this? You need to remember the syntax, and remember the syntax compulsory, you need to use comma operator between multiple elements here. All right, is it clear? All right. So this is one thing we can basically use to target about in element level CSS. It is. This is comes under element level CSS. Is it clear, guys? All right. Now look at here. Look at this example. Look at this example. When you see this example, you have applied everything is same, correct? But someone is asked you something like, I want a different colors for alternate elements of HTML, nothing but H1, first H1 which has to have one color, H2 have a different color, and H3 are again same color, H4 is again same color. If I use element level, what will happen is, it's pretty simple, all 4 H1 elements of your document which has to have a same color. Is it clear? It have a same color, right? It is not going to change anything. But if you want to do some kind of activities, or if you want to have some kind of different activities has to apply it on that, then you have to go for element level will not work over there, because element level CSS directly apply the CSS to all elements of the same document. But if you want to have some different thing, either you have to go for inline CSS. Apart from that, inline CSS is not suitable, not recommended process. So that you have to use a second one. Look at here, there is two more things I was explained you, that is trying to explain you right now, that is ID level as well as class level, right. ID level always represented with hashtag with the help of some ID name. You give any ID name, open, close, give some property name in the sense color is one of the property name, and respective value you need to provide for this. Alright, so you can give some more ID, let us say ID name 1 or 2, whatever it is. You can give not only single property, guys, you can also apply multiple properties here, say property name followed by value, right. You can also give some more property. Every property have a different values, like color have a different values, right. Same way you can have a different values for the different properties, like you can apply the multiple ways like this. Yes, this is what we can call it as ID level process or ID level application. So how do I do this? Okay, so I'm going to take one more fresh HTML document. where I just want to apply as your inline CSS to this. Okay. This is something, say a CSS example 3, and within this body tag I am going to write a simple h1 tag. Alright, couple of h1 tags I am going to apply now. Let us say 1, take a 3 or 4. Okay. So, I just want to put all this in center, let us say apply the center tag to it. Okay. Alright. So, first I am going to save this document name as c12.html is the name of the file. Okay. .html is always extension. I need to write the style tag on the part of your browser, I mean to say head part of your browser. Okay. So, the first thing is I do apply say heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6. 6 different headings I am applying to this. Okay. So, now first I am going to save this document and go to a browser and first show this document how it is looks, right. This is how it looks, but what I want is this 1, 3 supposed to have 5, this 3 supposed to have one style, this 3 supposed to have another style, nothing but even numbers have one color and odd numbering has another color, right. So, how do I do it? I need to use hashtag to give an ID name. ID name is something, say C1 is my name of ID, right. You can give any name here, C1 is just a name, nothing but you can give any name whatever you want. So, for this I want to apply the color as red. Okay. So, for this h1 tag what I just need to do is I need to apply ID is equals to, what is the ID we have here? C1 is the name of ID, nothing but this is way you can create it, this is the way you can apply to it, right. This is the way you can apply for this and save this doc and refresh it. See that C1 nothing but 1 is in red color. Now, I am going to do one thing, I am writing one more thing. Alright, I will write a CSS to it. So, what I will do is I will write another ID. Here previously I have applied C1, right. Now, I am going to apply the ID value as C2. Alright. Now, let us look at the browser, it is in green color now. Let us see, I am going to do one thing, ID is equals to C3, not there is no C3, again I will do one thing, C1 only. This is again C2, C1, okay, then again C2. Alright, only I have 2 IDs, I am just say alternate IDs will have a same color. Let us look at the screen once again, you can understand 1, 3 and 5 will have one color, 2, 4 and 6 have another color, is it correct, right. So, this is how you can use of what I can say ID. ID always starts from hashtag and the name of ID you can give any name to it, right. You can give any name whatever you want, it is a user defined name, you can give any name whatever you want, but always whenever you are writing ID it has to be always starts from hashtag. Okay. This is how you can use of ID properties or ID values. Okay. What the next one is? the next one is class. It is also same, but it will start from dot followed by name of class. It is again user defined class name. You can give any name whatever you want, say property name and respective value to this. Okay. Then again property name, you can give respective value to it. Okay. So, again class name, right. You can give any class name 1, 2, whatever you can say, you can give the class name. Like this, you can give any class name whatever you want. Okay. Is it clear, guys? This is how we can apply the class properties. It is pretty simple. What I can say? All right. So, I am trying to use one more example. So, within that example, I am going to show you how to apply. Here I am using ID property, right. Now, I am going to use class property to it. Okay. Let me create one more simple HTML doc and tray, let us say head part of your browser and then a body part of your browser. I am going to save this HTML document, that is c31.html is an extension for my document, right. Then I will do one thing, I will give a name of this title of this document is let us say CSS example 4. All right. So, again I will do one thing, I will just copy the 6 H1 tags. All right. So, I have applied some other, right. So, I will make a center tag. So, make them into center, right. So, making of H1, okay, 6 H1 tags. All right. So, I am going to give you the heading name as say heading 1, give the name as heading 2, give the name as heading 3, give the name as heading 4, give the name as heading 5 and give the name as heading 6. All right, 6 tags. Let us see first I am going to show it on browser how it looks. This is how it looks. Now, I just want to apply the class format to this. If I want to apply ID or class or element, first I need to place style tag on my head part of your browser, I mean to say head part of your HTML doc. As I told you, class name always starts from dot. You can give any class name, let us say A1 is my name of a class, right. Within this you can give any property name, let us say I am giving a property name called color and I am giving a color name as red. I am giving one more property name called A2, A1 and A2, here any name you can give whatever you feel flexible, right. So, this one, all right. So, dot A3, it is also same, you can say color, you can give some blue, right. So, I mean whatever you feel flexible to use the name, you can just use that name, does not matter the same name you have to use, no, you can give any name to this. I am giving one more name, say a color as purple. All right. I am going to save this HTML doc and how do I apply it? Again I will show you the browser, I have refreshed this browser, there is no changes here, but I have not applied to this. How do I apply it? It is pretty simple job. In previous example, I have used a property name called ID and I have applied a particular ID to it, correct. Now, within this example, what I am trying to do is I am going to use the property name called class. Which class you want to apply? I want to apply the class name is A1 to this, right. I want to apply the property name called A2 to this. I want to apply the property name is A3 to this, all right. So, go to this, I want to apply the property name called A4, right. I want to apply the property name called A5, no A5, only A up to A4 we have a classes. I am just using that any one of the random classes here, let us say A2. Alright, save this document and refresh it. See that all 6 which have a different things, because here this one and this one which have a same color, because I am applying the same class to it, A1 and A1, right. Here this one and this one will have a same color, because I am applying the same class to this, right. This is how you can use the properties of element, ID and class, right. Hope you understand these 3 examples. If you are able to understand these examples, next sessions becomes pretty much simple. Is it clear now? All right. So with this, you need to you have to come to justification that element level CSS which apply the all elements of a same CSS or all elements of that document will apply the same CSS. But if you want to apply the CSS like different element, I want to apply the same CSS, then I have to use comma operator between multiple elements, then I can apply the same CSS to it. Whereas if I want to go for, I don't want the same CSS for all the HTML elements, then I have to go for either ID or class. ID always represented with hashtag, class is always represented with dot. So hash followed by any ID name, you can give whatever you feel flexible, whatever you feel comfortable, and whereas ID same, whereas class is also same. Dot is a format, you can use any dot format, that is again depends on you. Alright, this is how we can apply the CSS for different kind of HTML elements here. Now very clear. And there is one of very important thing which you have to know is, for example, it's not only one document in a website, right? You have a multiple documents in your website, but I want to apply the same CSS for all the websites which I am trying to develop. Nothing but document 1 which have some element, document 2 is also some element, document 3 is also some elements. I want to apply the same CSS for all these 3 elements or all these 3 documents. What I need to do is I have to go for each and individually documents, and I have to copy that CSS and I have to paste in each and individual documents. Correct? That you cannot do that all the time, right? For example, you have a 10, you can do this, but if you have 1000 web pages in your website, then it becomes pretty much difficult to copy paste all the time. Correct? So in that time, what we have to learn is, we have to learn about one more what I can say, one more way of to apply the CSS to HTML document, that is something called external CSS. So what is this external CSS does, right? External CSS is pretty much important whenever you want to maintain same look and feel, consistent look and feel across the website, then you can go for external CSS. That we will discuss in the next session, because it is again takes 10 to 15 minutes time. So I can't go for today's session, we will go for the next session. Alright, hope you understand with the today's session. It is pretty much important session again as like yesterday. Okay, so you have to practice each and every day, compulsory. Alright, so hope you understand. Thank you so much, be a part of this session. And by the way, I am Anil Kumar, the trainer of APSSDC.